Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see.
What is the meaning of this?
Delightful. You must have hit your head harder than I thought. No matter. Very little is required of you. Just your blood, which you can either share of your own volition, or I will spill it for you. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant chamber. This void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives the Idira all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Why are you doing this?
Why? Because I am following an order. What is happening on this ship right now has been in the making for a very long time. All that remains is to obtain what my masters sent me for. The Warrant of Trade.
I have no intention of helping you.
I am afraid that you have no choice in the matter. Try to resist, and I will demonstrate the power that the warp holds over mortals. Come to think of it, I might even take some pleasure in doing so.
The void with you. There is a voice in our head. Try to find it. You feel this intriguing influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step toward the gates, looming in the center of the chamber. Examine the device. Carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is a strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech. It leans forward, closer to us. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. Examine the Sentinel. Place our hand into it. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
Yes, I do require assistance.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way!
Check the Warrant chamber.
The Divine watches over us.
Old injury. An injury that wasn't healed in time. It can be healed, blah blah. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the Warrant of Trade. on to be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what is lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road. Man, this is really quick.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
What madness is happening here? Who are you and who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the Warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
No one must reach the warrant. A simple order to the Sentinel cogitator will lock the chamber.
Let the faith guide my path to glory. Run, fools, or fall!
Oh god, I can't remember this. What a great entry. Yeah, what a great entrance.
Master, whatever are you doing in the Warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me, what is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voigt is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of the plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor! I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
So it would seem, but he's not here and we have a mutiny to end.
Indeed. Indeed. That is easier said than done, of course. But seeing one of Lady Theodora's heirs alive inspires at least some degree of optimism. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense.
Alright, so equip new weapons, armor, double click. Yes. Awesome. Alright. And then...
I cannot comply. I can't allow myself to do this.
Okay, alright, so...
I am at your service.
Click this.
Let me help.
With you.
That is a noticeable improvement.
Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's Sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman. Oh, God Emperor preserve me, Navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the Navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warrant Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warrant Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
What can we expect to find the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
I heard one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
For the Empyrean and humanity, lead the way, Seneschal.
Come.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
You will die screaming on my next offering!
Close ranks!
All of you will bleed!
Combat begins with the tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions, but may try to take up advantage positions. Yeah, when I played the game there was no voice over to any of the text, it was just text, right? So they did a really good job of voicing everything, because imagine having to, or streaming this and having to read all of this, what was just mentioned, said by the voiceover. It is insane. Okay, so we'll go here.
Out of my way! Death to the weak!
Abelard's abilities. Unique companion is a warrior, specializing in melee combat and drawing enemies' attacks. charge. Enemy in the direct path of charge, I will attack them and will still be able to use an attack action afterwards. Charge can only be used if the character is 2 more cells away.
Indeed. One fewer target. That's not the Seneschal's job.
Oh, I thought 2 is this. I was wrong.
It will be done.
My fault. Attack of opportunity.
I will do my duty.
Chaos guides me.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Friendly fire. Be careful, comprehensive internet. Common abilities or characters differ depending on the archetype. Alright. Serve me.
Actions will speak louder than words.
Commands.
I will not be deterred.
Nice. That healed him as well. Oh, because you get more characteristics.
And so it shall be. Your corrupt way has failed you.
Nice.
Chaos guides me.
It will be done. Reduced to dust. I'm not interested. Someone else can do this. Another step towards our ultimate victory.
I bring ruin.
I took care of this one.
Experience points. Oh, that's it.
The Emperor protects. My faith is my shield.
Defeated enemies have no further need for their belongings. Trophies on the right side of the trophy window go to your inventory. Trophies on the left are packed up as cargo and sent to your ship. Okay. Oh.
Know your duty.
Right. Officer. Choose a skill. Persuasion. Zone map.
On the threshold of the blinded guide, doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. Their voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing.
This is Idira, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are von Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Ethelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Ethelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
The seers were dredge up something dark and frightening from the depths of your memory. Your soul has been tainted by the influence of warp sorcery, and it seems you will never remove it. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's Sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
We must see the Navigator as well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Don't you dare to cross us!
You'll make a suitable sacrifice!
Hologram. So you can place a hologram.
Rejoice in service! Actions will speak louder than words. I will not be deterred. Hold on.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
To non-believers! Ah!
Kira's abilities. She's now Psyker and Operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and identify their weaknesses. Psyker abilities allow you to damage them. Analyze enemies is an operative ability which applies the exploit effect to all enemies within the operative's line of sight at the start of each of the operative's turn. The operative can also use the ability against a specific enemy to inflict several stacks of this bonus. The high intelligence bonus is additional damage.
Was it you? Or... But of course. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call. One fewer target.
The Emperor, your corrupt way has failed you.
The Navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through two dark grill slits on its cheek.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
What is wrong with him?
Wounded. Exhausted. Fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head. Pick one.
Your time is short.
You are in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair.
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
Ah! It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Idia's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature were wounded by the corrupted weapon, which led to a warp entity invading your mind. Triumphs at the sight of the Navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. I'll seal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings. each one a portent of salvation within me. Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Address Abelard. The Navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
The spiders. Good luck. And thank you.
The Navigator does not give her a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the box at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly life.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.